Hi guys, welcome back to another Denki video, and for those joining through the stream, and welcome, and do subscribe to my YouTube channel as well if this is your first time. So I recently posted up a link to ask all the Pendulum Magician players in my Discord channel to contribute any tips and tricks for the deck, and then I gotten quite a bit of responses, and I myself have added in a few of them myself as well. So I'll be having a series where as long as there's like more than 10, I'll take some time to make a video and explain what all these tips are about and what do they even mean. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right straight into the tips and tricks. So first thing is, when using electromagnet to pop your double iris to take back extra from extra deck, you can actually pop your purple poison instead and add back extra using purple poison effect. Yeah. So one of the reason why this is preferred is because you want to try your best to make use of astrograph effect to actually add back a monster that's being destroyed this turn. But the problem is, if most of the time we will want to destroy double iris so that we can trigger its effect to add a pendulum graph card. But the problem is double iris is only limit to 1. So if you destroy double iris and no other card has been destroyed this turn, if you summon astrograph out, you won't be able to search for any monster. So how do we usually get through this is, unless you have a wisdom eye already in your that's already been destroyed, you won't have this problem. But if let's say, because we really want one more monster to be on the field, so what we'll do is we'll use electromagnet to destroy the purple poison, and then we'll then add back astrograph from the extra deck. Then at the same after it resolve, we will actually special summon astrograph because something has been destroyed, which is the purple poison, so that you can add back purple poison to your hand when this card is being summoned. Yeah. And then when purple poison is being destroyed, it can actually destroy one face card on the field, which then in return you can then use its effect to destroy double iris, so that you still get to search for your pendulum graph. Yeah. I think this situation happened to me quite often because a lot of time you actually scale your maybe purple poison, and then you scale your wisdom eye. Yeah. So once you scale these two, you'll pop your wisdom eye to set double iris. Then after that, you want to pendulum summon back your wisdom eye. But then because when wisdom eye goes back to the field, and then when it goes back to the extra deck, because you link for electromagnet, the status on wisdom eye won't be destroyed anymore. It's more of the status is more of like being linked summon, being used as a link material. Thus your astrograph won't be able to search for wisdom eye after you summon it back out. So this is something very important that all Pendulum Magician players should take note. Yeah. So this is tip number 1. So next tips. You can use Ice Vortex effect to negate your own pendulum skill activation to trigger that effect. Yeah. Negating Black Fang when it's activated on the skill will destroy it and send it to the graveyard. Thus using its own effect to special summon itself back onto the field. Free special summon if you needed that one monster. So how this works is, the card I'm talking in this is Black Fang, and actually the most important one is actually Ice Vortex here. Yeah. So Ice Vortex effect is when something has been activated, regardless is it your opponent's or yours, you can actually like shuffle back one pendulum monster from extra deck and negate the activation, and then destroy that card. So how it's usually combo with is, it can actually go quite well with all the magician, including double iris and purple poison as well. So if let's say now I activate Black Fang on the skill, since it hasn't resolved yet, it's still on activation. Your All Eyes, when your All Eyes Vortex resolve it and negate and destroy it, it will actually be sent to the graveyard instead of the extra deck, because it hasn't activated yet. And it hasn't really touched the field yet. That's why when it's being negated, it actually goes to the graveyard. It's just quite similar to when you Pendulum summon and your opponent judgment, summon judgment your summon, it won't actually go to the extra deck, but it goes to the graveyard because it hasn't really touched the field. Yeah. So in this case, if you negate your Black Fang, it actually gets negated and destroyed and then sent to the graveyard. Then since it got destroyed, it will trigger its effect where you can target one Dark Spellcaster in your graveyard and special summon it. So since this card is already in the graveyard, you can target itself to special summon it out. So it's as good as a free special summon. Yeah. This works as well with Double Iris. You can activate and negate itself to destroy itself to get Pendulum Graph. And then if for some reason you need a purple poison effect, you can also activate this and then destroy itself. And then you can destroy one card on the field. Yeah, this is quite a useful tips that I encountered in a recent duel, and yeah, good for every Pendulum Magician player to know. Tips number 3. If you have Wisdom Eye and Oath Dragon or Double Iris in your hand, you can do this. When you use Wisdom Eye effect to switch to another skill, and then Pendulum summon Wisdom Eye from the extra deck, and one more card, and any card from your hand to do a link summon. Before you use electromagnet effect to destroy anything, you should add back your Wisdom Eye using Oath Dragon, and then pop your Double Iris with electromagnet to add back Astrograph. Yeah, don't summon your Astrograph first, keep it for your Wisdom Eye. This is submitted by Xera. I actually changed your text for the later part a bit to shorten the description a bit. Yeah. So what he meant here is, if let's say you have these two cards in your hand, so usually we'll scale Oath Dragon together with Wisdom Eye, and then we'll pop your Wisdom Eye for maybe a Double Iris or something. Yeah, so this is quite similar to the first tip that I mentioned just now. So once you destroy itself and then set a new skill, this two will be your skill, and then this will be in your extra deck. Then because you want to Pendulum summon it back, so you'll have this thing will be back onto the field, and its status will no longer be destroyed. So if you use back the same logic, where if you use electromagnet effect to destroy and add back your Astrograph, you won't be able to search for anything because there's no card that's being destroyed this turn. Yeah, other than Double Iris, but Double Iris is limit to 1, so you can't search for another Double Iris. Yeah, I don't know why I keep saying Irish. Okay, yeah, so what in this case, what you usually do is, since we already have Oath Dragon, when you get your after you link summon out your electromagnet, before you pop any skill, you use your Oath Dragon effect to take back your Wisdom Eye first. So you have Wisdom Eye in your hand, and then you'll use your electromagnet to maybe destroy your Double Iris, and then you add back your Astrograph. But at this point in time, you don't activate Astrograph first because nothing can be destroyed at this point in time. So you keep your Astrograph in your hand, and then you scale your Wisdom Eye again. So then you can activate its effect to set a new skill, like maybe either Black Fang or Miss Celestia. And then since Wisdom Eye has been destroyed, you can then special summon your Astrograph out from your hand, adding another Wisdom Eye to your hand. Yeah. So this is one way to get around the fact that Double Iris has only one copy, and you don't really want to waste the fact that Astrograph can add a card to your hand. Yeah. So always try to utilize Astrograph effect that allows you to add one more card to your hand. It's really very useful, and I feel that it's very wasted if you don't use that add extra card to your hand. Yeah. If let's say for some reason you don't really need that card in your hand and you really want to summon one more monster, I will recommend instead of using Astrograph, use Chronograph instead. Yeah, so Chronograph can actually summon one more card from your hand out. Yeah, so it's really depend on the situation. Like is Astrograph, most of the time we will want Astrograph, but in some cases we will prefer Chronograph instead. So actually you should play along to see which do you want to prioritize at that point in time. Yeah. So this is tips number 3. It's still revolving around Astrograph. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the fourth one. Okay, Time Star Magician and Wisdom Eye is equals to free Foolish Barrier. You can activate Wisdom Eye and then protect it with Time Star effect. Then as a cost, you can send Tuning or something else you want to combo with Celine, Black Fang to the graveyard. Yeah, for example, Dissolver. Moreover, Time Star is soft once per turn, so you can even link it off and revive with it for another Foolish Barrier. Yeah, this is submitted by EvilCat, and what he meant was, let me just try to get the card out. Okay, so so Time Star effect itself, if one of your scale or any pendulum cards that is going to be destroyed, you can actually instead send a spellcaster monster from your deck to the graveyard to prevent the destruction. So, and then Wisdomite effect is on the skill is you can destroy this card and then place another pendulum monster from your deck to your pendulum zone. Yeah, but the good thing about this is this card itself is not a once per turn effect. So what some people do is they'll attempt to destroy Wisdom Eye once, then we'll use Time Star effect to negate that destruction by sending one spellcaster. So in this case, you can send any spellcaster, but I will say most of the more common ones are sending either a Tuning Magician in, or any other dark spellcaster so that your Black Fang can revive it later, or maybe any spellcaster actually, so that you can use Celine to revive it from the graveyard later as well. Yeah. So by doing this, you can actually, it's like what EvilCat mentioned, it's a free Foolish Barrier. And by the most of the time, I say most of the time we send this is because once it's sent, you can actually activate its effect and then special summon it onto the field, so you can get like one extra tuner on your field. Yeah. So very useful technique, which I think a lot should try to utilize, and a lot might have missed this out, but actually having pendulum cards in your extra deck is really very useful, especially when it's a dark spellcaster. Yeah. So thanks to EvilCat for submitting this. Yep. Then tips number 5. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. So I think someone had a duel with like L Leech, and then they realized that other than having the trap, is there nothing else that we can do to take away skill drain? Yeah, so actually you can do a very long-winded method, which is to get out your access code talker, and then you can banish access code itself to destroy one card on the field. Yeah, and since when it banish itself, the effect actually resolve when it's in the banish zone, thus you can actually resolve its effect by this and then destroy one card on the field. It's a lot of resources to take away just to destroy the skill drain, but I think at some point in time you really, I mean at certain situation you really want to get rid of the skill drain. Yeah, regardless. Yeah, so this is one way to get rid of it. Yeah, this was mentioned by someone, but the person didn't submit, but I decided to put it up here as well. So yeah, thanks to whoever that thought of this. Yeah. Tips number 6. If you need Ash Blossom in your hand for some reason, you can use Harley Freebucks to special summon from deck, and then use Electromagnet to destroy Ash Blossom on the field. Add Astrograph back to your hand, special summon Astrograph to search for Ash. Yeah. So yeah, I saw this happen once where for some reason the person really wanted to have a Ash Blossom in their hand. So yeah, so like what I'm let me just bring out the cards. Yeah, so some things that people might miss out sometimes is Astrograph itself can add a monster that's being destroyed distant to the hand when it's special summon itself, and this monster itself is not limited to just Pendulum monster. So actually any deck that really focus on like destroying can actually make use of Astrograph, such as like Unchained deck or even Dino. Yeah, but I think there's a reason why they don't play, because it's actually that's the only use of it lah. But I still see it as a very strong card, so just take note that Astrograph can add back any card that's being destroyed distant to your hand. Yeah, and one way to get Ash Blossom out is when you come out with your Harley Freebucks, and when this card is on the field, you can destroy this card itself and then special summon Astrograph to add back Ash Blossom to your hand. Yeah, this is just one way lah. And I don't think it really makes sense in most cases, but I feel that this technique will be useful in very very special case. Yeah, so it's just something that to take note that you have this choice if you really want to. Yep. Number 7. When using Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon as a tuner to link summon into Hardy Freebucks, activate a Hardy Freebucks effect to special summon a tuner first, and then Absolute Dragon. Yeah, this will cause a chain block. Yeah. So this is submitted by Maki. So what he mean was, let me just get out Absolute here. Yep. So I think most of us when we play Hardy Freebucks, it's very common to get Ash Blossom by it. Yeah. But the thing is, you can only Ash Blossom the card that activates at the latest chain. So if let's say now I have a tuner, I link summon Tuning Magician together with Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon to come up with Hardy Freebucks. And then in this case, I am able to choose which effect to resolve first, either Hardy Freebucks effect or Absolute Dragon. Yeah. So in this case, if I put Hardy Freebucks first and then Absolute Dragon at chain 2, your opponent won't be able to Ash anything because Absolute Dragon cannot be Ash. And since Hardy Freebucks is in chain 1, they won't be able to Ash Blossom Hardy Freebucks, which make it such that you definitely can get out your tuner with Hardy Freebucks. Yeah, so this is something very useful. But do take note that if you do it this way, let me grab out. If you do it this way where you chain 1 Hardy Freebucks and chain 2 Absolute Dragon, your Odd Eyes Vortex won't be able to activate this effect. When this card is special summoned, you can target one monster opponent face up attack position monster, return it to hand. It will cause us a miss timing in this case. Yeah. But most of the time, if you are going first, you should still do this combo whereby you chain 1 Hardy Freebucks and chain 2 Absolute Dragon, since there's no monster you will want to bounce back anyway. Yeah. But if using this method, just take note that you'll miss timing this Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon effect. Yep. Okay. Number 8. Let's see. Inverse for the previous tips, if you use the effect of Odd Eyes Vortex to return a face-up attack position monster chain 1. Yeah, so this is also by Maki. So if you are, like what I mentioned just now, if you really want the Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon effect, you will want to chain 1 for Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, and then chain 2 for Hardy Freebucks. Yeah, so this is if you really want to use the Odd Eyes Vortex effect lah. Yeah, and yeah, so basically that's tips number 8. Okay, last 2. I'm just sharing 10 today, and I'll find another time to do another 10 once I have the time. Yeah. So number 9, when both electromagnet effect to draw a card as well as star pendulum graph effect to search are available activated at the same time, activate star pendulum graph as chain 1 and activate electromagnet as chain 2. This will allow you to draw a card before searching, allowing you more information to pick up the best target for your search. Yeah, this will also chain block star pendulum graph. Yeah. Okay, I just want to take just to make sure everyone understand this. Actually, we can't really choose the chain option for this. Yeah. So why is this so? Let me just bring up both of the cards. So for electromagnet itself, its effect says draw 1 card. Oh wait, sorry. You can still do the chaining, like which to chain lah. Yeah, I think I'm wrong about this. So yeah, anyway, so what Maki was saying here is he will want to do a chain 1 star pendulum graph to a chain 2 electromagnet. Yeah. So I think this is also like to see which one do you want to prioritize. Do you want to prioritize the search or the draw? So most of the time I will prioritize the search because it's something that I can choose what I want. Yeah, the draw is really like a random thing. But if let's say I don't really need the search and I want to hopefully can draw into a hand trap or a or a card that cannot be searched by star pendulum graph, then I will do the other way. So it's quite similar to tips number, I think 7. You chain block the effect that you want it to resolve. Yeah, so you put it as the first chain. You don't want opponent to negate that effect. So if let's say I really want star pendulum graph effect to go through, I'll put it as chain 1 and then electromagnet as 2. Yeah, so this will prevent my star pendulum graph from being ash. Yeah. So this another one. Yeah, thanks to Maki for submitting this. Okay, last one for today. Yeah, this is a general tip. If you go first, should try to put your monster in defense position if possible, or you'll hate yourself when your opponent use lightning storm. Yeah, so I think a lot of us really get hit by this badly, and every time we set our field, if I think if possible, we'll always try to put it in defense position. Yeah. So for one example is for All Ice Vortex, I will definitely put it in defense position because it has a huge defense of 3000. Yeah. But then Link monster cannot be in defense position, so that has no choice. And for Boron Load, right, I usually put it in attack position because normally its attack will be like around 3.9. Yeah, so for this I will still put it in attack position. So it's really depend on the monster that you have on the field. Yeah, but this is something that to take note. Always assume opponent has like lightning storm and maybe some way of clearing it. And what if they got harpy? Like just try to imagine a situation in your head and see if there's anything you can do to prevent it. Yeah. Yeah, so that's all for all the tips. So if you would like to contribute to the tips checklist, you can always join our Discord channel in my description below for the Twitch, for the people watching live on Twitch. Yeah. Then if not, I really hope that you guys can subscribe to the channel to really support my channel, and I'll be sharing more tips and tricks for Pendulum Machine as well. And if you have any of these tips and tricks, do feel free to comment down in the comment section below, and I'll use it for the next video, and I'll of course credit you for the tips as well lah, if I'm using the tips. Yeah. So also, if you would like to like me to take a look at your duel to see if there's any things that you could have done better, or what are some, if I was playing, what would I do instead, do use the form below to submit a replay to me. Or if there's a Pendulum Magician duel that you think is really interesting, where there's a lot of back and forth where you try to struggle and then you win or then you lose, do use the form to submit a replay to me as well. Yeah, that will really help my channel grow. So if not, that's the end of this video, and I hope to see everyone in the next video as well. So have a good day, everybody.